staying friends with your ex is up. Do
Racist
you not have other friends? It's pathetic. But anyway, that's not what my team is arguing. Today, we are on the negative team. Thomas and I are arguing that it is possible to stay friends with your ex. And on the affirmative team, we have Zhe Liang and Muna who are arguing that no, you should not be friends with your ex. It will be a disaster. With that, we'll start round one, and Muna and Zhe Liang will have 5 minutes to present their argument.
Oh, wow. So we're on the topic of staying friends with your exes, right? Okay, have you had a personal experience on this?
No exes, never dated.
Oh, never dated. Okay, thank you. Ano ba episode? Okay, so you want to stay friends with the ex. More often than not, it may lead to disaster. And the reason for that is, let's think about why you want to remain friends with the exes first. Some people say, okay, because we ended on good terms, they're quite nice to me, this and that. But more often than not, people have this inner desire of rekindling the romance, or they think that maybe it's out of guilt, obligation. I feel like I didn't treat my ex well enough, so let's remain friends. It doesn't seem like I'm the completely bad person in this situation, and that's why. In 2017, there was a survey conducted called Staying Friends with an Ex, Sex and Dark Personality Traits Predict Motivations for Post-Relationship Friendship. And in this journal, this study actually examined a lot of people, about 437 individuals, primarily college students, and then they talked about what are the traits and what are the motivations. They all seem to conclude that a lot of people tend to want emotional support from their exes because they feel lonely a lot of times. They are fresh out of a relationship. They don't know what to do with their lives, and they want someone who is familiar to them to stay in their life continuously to provide support for them. And on the other hand, there are people who desire control because they get out of the relationship because it may be a bit abusive, but the other partner may say that, I still want to be in control of this person, but it's coming from a wrong standpoint. Two, even if you find out why you want to remain friends, that friendship may not be genuine. It may not last. So a lot of studies have been conducted, especially in 2017. Also, Why Staying Friends with Your Ex is So Hard, published in Psychology Today. This study actually concluded that a lot of people, they do not continue to remain friends in long term, and only 15% of people who attempted to stay friends with their exes maintain a friendship over time because unsustainable due to underlying issues, emotional baggage from your relationship. That's why you broke up, right? It could be resentment. It could be competing interests. So if you have a new partner and then your ex is still friends with you, right? So your new partner will question you, why are you friends with the ex? And then your ex will be like, oh, let's see how good is your new partner. I just want to know. Yeah. And then we can move on later to talk about how even remaining friends with your exes on social media could be detrimental as well. But I'll give the time to Muna for now.
Okay, thank you very much. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing teammate. Oh my God, hello.
Then am I not amazing?
I believe that staying friends with your ex is impossible and a disaster because romantic relationships tend to end for specific reasons. So a lot of the points are similar to what my partner has said, but I bring in the case study of me. So I always believe that I could be friends with my exes, but for some reason, my exes don't want to be friends with me. So I reflect and ask, why? Let's try. And I have tried for some exes, and these are the issues that come up. Number one is that there's
their names.
The Instagram handle.
First, there is no room for healing because we are trying to force this friendship when we need time to also have distance that gives us new perspective from each other. The second one is unresolved feelings. So same, typically one person wants to break up more than the other. So if you still have romantic feelings for the other person, it becomes challenging to foster that friendship and you are setting yourself up for disappointment. Hanging out with an ex with lingering feelings really prevent you from grieving because you're sort of in this limbo of like, okay, could it happen? I mean, we're friends, but could it maybe happen again? And the next point is also future love. It does affect you trying to form new relationships. Because you are getting your emotional needs from a former flame, you are less likely to be open to other suitors. So this is a specific example from me also, my case study. After a damn gut-wrenching breakup, I tried, months later, we tried to be friends again, me and my ex. But by that time, I was already seeing someone new. But at the same time, I felt myself subconsciously holding back from this new date because, as I mentioned before, I was getting comfort from my former flame. I saw myself also going back to old behaviors, being jealous of let's say my ex talks about another girl, or if I talk about a new date, and I was being a bit flirty with him, hoping that something would come up again, but, nothing. And I wasn't being fair to my potential new partner. And at first he was okay with it, but after the new partner, at first he was okay with it, but after that, when he found that we were getting a bit too close and I was like splitting my energy between the two boys, it wasn't fair to him.
Wait, this tea, wait, yeah, so you finish.
It wasn't fair to him. So actually, this is tea. So like there was one night that really made me change my perspective of trying to hold on to this friendship with my ex. So I was actually talking to my ex on the phone. My potential partner, my partner was there, and he like walked out on me. He was like, he didn't even say anything. He just knew that I was on the phone with my ex, and he just left. Like I said before, like there's always that hope that you would get back
It may
together.
happen
At least for this
Yeah.
for this person,
understand.
I really was very in love with him, and the breakup broke me. So the fact that I still had him in my life, I tried to, like.
But it was
maybe I
unfair
can
to
get
your
back
new
him. But
partner
it was
lah.
unfair to my new partner. So yeah.
You see
And
how
then you
they're
and this
nodding,
partner also break up lah.
No, actually, we worked it out because I felt like, okay, you know what? This is a wake up call. Sometimes it is really toxic to try and foster this friendship with your ex because it stopped me from getting a nice, healthy
So
relationship.
sometimes you'd say maybe staying friends with your ex brings you new lessons also lah.
Yes, but
Which brings
Lessons
us to our argument.
destroy
Great
you.
segue.
but at what cost?
Why?
at what cost?
I'm a segue.
Okay,
It's a solid segue, okay?
Okay, so our team has defined friends according to the Oxford English Dictionary, which is a person with whom one has developed a close and informal relationship of mutual trust and intimacy. An ex is defined as an individual with whom you were in a romantic relationship with, preferably one that ended on good terms, and disaster defined as all negative consequences. My team believes that people are able to stay friends with their exes and it can turn out well. We are not saying that you should be friends with your exes, but we are saying that it is possible to stay friends with someone with whom you were in a romantic relationship with and that it can have positive consequences. First of all, what if you share kids? You share pets, you share responsibilities. You cannot just neglect all these because you want to be done with the person that you were dating with. Second, what if you share a friend group or a small community? You can't just forego your support circle because you dated someone from there. Next, what if you were good friends before dating and this friendship is something that you don't want to give up even though you've tried dating and it just simply didn't work out? And four, what if you guys work together, which is quite common because sometimes the industry is quite large and you will run into your ex. And it is better to be friends rather than to be enemies or someone that you don't have a relationship with. Now, a study done in June 2017 shows that there are 4 reasons to stay exes with your friends, and they boiled it down to security. The need to feel secure is a basic human need. Relationships are known to serve as a source of security. Second, it is practical. There's civility, and also, as the other team has mentioned, there is unresolved romantic desires. Now, let's look at the stats. A study done in 1985 found that the majority of people in their study, which is 61%, reported being friends with a romantic partner, a former romantic partner. So this proves our point that it is possible. Another study in 2011 found that 60% of their participants reported being friends with an ex-partner. What is the red card for? Oh,
I'm
yes.
helping you, Green. It's okay. We've
Thank you.
negated it already.
Okay.
She don't know what she's
Sorry,
doing.
could you repeat the stats again? Sorry, for the last one.
Okay, so in 1985...
No, the newer one.
Oh, okay. 60%
Oh, okay.
in 2011.
I found
So-
what? I'm sorry, I
Never mind,
missed the
just
part.
do that. You can watch the video. You finish your points first. Hey, you ask,
Okay, then if they don't put it into the card.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then we
I'll
can
Later
pass.
ask, later ask.
I'll pass the
clock running.
time to my partner,
Okay.
Thomas.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes,
Okay,
go.
great. Let me do some definitions as well, okay? So on the problem statement, it says staying friends with your ex is impossible. So I want to get into the word impossible, okay? Impossible is a very strong word. It means 100% cannot. But I'm telling you that if it's even 1%, 1% can, okay? So my subject is about hope, okay? And life is all about hope. So let me tell you about this hope. Do you not remember the great moments when you go overseas together? You know, when you're sick and then he bring over fruits and porridge, and when you fall down and then she like, oh my god, you okay? You know, like so, and sometimes,
my
okay,
mom lah.
sometimes
When I
you
say my mom
need.
bring fruits lah.
Sometimes you need the.
You just ask you
Sometimes, hey, let me talk.
Gone,
Hey, you cut my time. Sometimes you need the
Taking our
safety.
time.
Okay,
Moderator.
like if the economy is not good, you hold on to your old job first. Then you jump ship when you roughly get into the final round of your next interview, you know?
That's not fair,
So the world right now.
you
So
saying?
basically, if there's not a lot going on out there, maybe you want to hold on to your old one first, and then then move on. So the world is very rabak out there. So you need to understand. Hey, why? This one personal, your own personal opinion, okay? So you need I feel like everyone can relate that that there's this feeling of uncertainty. So you don't know if you will find someone better, and maybe y'all broke up because it's just bad timing, or you weren't right for each other at that point in time with enough maturity and whatnot. I know the fact that there are friends who after a while came back after they broke up and got married in the end. So it's this hope that keeps us going. And I also want to jump over, because I got 30 seconds left, about disaster. It's only a disaster if you let it be, if you let a relation become one. So it really depends on what kind of person you are. If you're cordial, if you're gentlemanly, you set good boundaries, this friendship can still exist. As Ellie also mentioned that, there are many situations that require you to stay friends. If you're colleagues, if you had a kid. So my case study was that my parents were divorced but still stayed friends. So I'm very lucky that I could go back, visit my parents, visit my dad, my brother in Germany. And I ended up having a great loving childhood because of that.
Hey, wow!
Wow. Okay,
Right
this one
on
green,
the
this one green.
time.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the next round, which is us just fighting with our words and not our hands. We have 10 minutes on the clock, so let's go.
Let's talk about the analogy that Thomas actually gave. I want to give you another one, okay? So, because you're talking about finding a new job in a bad economy.
Yeah.
For example, today you're suffering in your current job. It pays like shit.
Yeah.
And it treats you like shit.
Yeah.
But you're not sure that whether you can survive out there without a job immediately. Would you still consider suffering at the same position for a prolonged period?
Yeah, you need
Yes.
you need food on the table.
Okay, so that's that. Thank you.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Wait, quick point. I think the basis of it, right, like Maslow hierarchy of need, right, one is like, food, survivability,
definitely.
and sex.
Mm-hmm.
So it's at the bottom line. So if you really can't put food on the table, right, then why is she like, if you can't put food on the table, you will stay at your job so that you can still earn, so that you can still eat.
That's fair.
And if you're really very lonely,
Yes.
then you still stay with your ex a little bit, cuddle once in a while, Now friends cuddle as well.
But at the
right?
same time, is it fair for either one of you that you are just staying for the sake of staying?
You're staying for
you're
the
not-
needs
Yeah, for the
of certain
needs
things.
of something, or not even the needs. It's just because you're afraid. You find that familiarity comfortable. Is that really your standard? Like, you should be finding or looking for something that is for you, that makes you happy, that you're not settling for. Babes, don't settle. If you're not happy, if you're just settling for the bare minimum, it ain't for you.
It's respect for yourself and respect for your ex.
Yes.
The ability for you guys to grieve that loss of the relationship because it ended because it didn't work, right?
My thing is, I think you guys generalize about how this is a very bad thing and a very like people are not having control over themselves. I say because the topic statement is whether it is impossible. And so the possibility that we are arguing about is the fact that, hey, what if this 1% of people are able to draw the boundaries here? That the moment you have a next partner, then it's time to have a clean line of say like, okay, none of this, can't be like that. I got a partner now, and then things are clean.
Yeah.
But you stay friends until that point. For example, if that is what you guys agree to, or for example, your colleagues, then you'll stay friends because you all need to stay cordial at work and whatnot. Okay, if you have kids, you guys stay friends because your kid needs to see each other.
I want to give you an analogy, okay? So I was going to say that if today you have a car, the car's a little bit old, it's been going on for like, I don't know, more than 5 years already. And then the engine is what caused it to break down. So the engine is actually outdated, it's spoiled, a lot of parts need to be changed, or the entire engine has to be scrapped. And that engine is actually your past relationship. And the car is you, okay? So today you want to continue running the car. What do? Do you try to bring back the same faulty old engine from time to time? Or do you change to a new one and continue, make yourself a better car?
I know, I love the
You
analogy,
You
but
can take public transport, what?
Yeah, but I cannot find Grab. That I really
No,
need to
but
rush.
if you are
I'm
stuck-
very lonely. I'm very lonely.
That was the point, really?
Okay, you
no,
go first.
so based on your analogy, the only reason why you are keeping it is because you are hoping to use it again.
No. I'm
But
not keeping it.
he is keeping it.
Hey, you-
I'm
No, yeah, but you're applying it. You're using it in an analogy to explain that there is a future in a relationship for it to be used in the same way. And for us, it's a friendship.
No, I'm saying that
friendship
I'm the car.
yeah.
Oh,
and
you're the
then
car.
I am the car.
Oh,
Okay,
I did
okay.
not get
You're
that.
the
Sorry,
car.
sorry.
Not the
I don't
actual
have a car, but
Let me
you're the
continue.
car.
Let's say
Okay.
I'm the car, okay, and then the engine is gonna be whatever relationship that you have.
Okay.
And there should only be one at a time, right?
Okay.
So that engine has already spoiled.
Okay,
You should throw it
okay.
away.
I get it. I
no,
get it.
you can repurpose it.
You should also
And look
make
at it.
room for the new engine to come so that you can run better, so
Yeah.
there's more growth.
The
in
engine
you.
got water inside all.
Yeah,
no
no,
use
no,
already.
I understand. But while I'm waiting for, Shopee or Lazada, whoever
Yes,
sponsors
to ship
this
you a new
show, to
one.
ship me the new one,
Yeah.
then I have to keep using this
Okay,
engine, no?
let's say you continue using.
No, you don't need.
What does it
You
do
walk.
to the car? What does it do to the car? You are spoiling your other parts.
I don't drive,
Your-
actually.
Okay.
But
so,
well, he can explain. You are spoiling your other part, so it's the same. Like you are not allowing yourself that space to really
heal.
feel what you have to feel, to really heal and grow as a person from whatever you went
Yeah.
through in a relationship.
I want to continue with the parts for you're talking about, if you want to remain cordial with your colleagues and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Let's say in the same industry, you want to remain friends. Have you heard of the term like work friends? Like we're friends at work lah. Okay lah, I work with you. Okay, hi, bye.
So friends
So
lah,
still
friends
friends.
lah.
Yeah.
No, but
No,
6 p.m. onwards, I don't talk to you anymore.
As it
6:30,
works
she asked
with-
you, hey, can you send me this file? It's urgent.
No,
If I just
Are you
for what, it's
replying?
okay.
it doesn't
For
matter because it's still a friendship and all friendships operate on very different levels. Are you telling me that if you're friends with someone, you have to talk to them all the time in every setting? If it's a work friend, I'm happy to be friends with you and only talk to you when
right.
you're there.
But that's just being cordial. Like being friends is a whole other
Yeah.
level. It's actually having
It's
a
not genuine because you
relationship,
mentioned
yeah.
about having a
Are
genuine
we friends,
relationship,
Muna?
right?
I mean, we are exes and we are not friends.
Okay, I want
not
to
in a
move on from
pop
this.
up.
So they talked about unresolved romantic desires, which is basically like Muna brought up. Sometimes, when she was talking to her ex, she still held maybe she was harboring some feelings or maybe getting back with him, flirting with him.
Yeah.
There was a study done where they followed 143 romantic relationships for a period of a year, and when and if a romantic relationship ended, participants were asked questions regarding the breakup, and rather than satisfaction, they found that higher commitment to romantic relationships prior to the breakup predicted greater post-breakup closeness. Basically, the closer they were in a relationship, after breaking up, it didn't influence how badly they wanted to get back together. So I will still be friends with you, but it's not because I'm being friends with you, I want to get back with you. You
Yeah.
know?
Which
It's because
kinda
I'm
adds
close
to
to
my
you,
point
I'm close to
that
you.
whether it becomes a disaster or not, that that relationship is defined actually by who you are. If you're a nice person, you kind of just want to stay friends. If
Yeah.
you are a very angry or hateful person, then you'll be like, no, cut this person. I need to clean out of my life. If I see them in public, I'll kick them in the throat. Like, no, like,
No,
it doesn't have to
go
be
to
like
the
that,
extreme.
you know?
Okay, so let me give you another case study. So it's a study conducted in 2018 and that was published in a journal called the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. Approximately 50% of people who remain friends with their exes, right, they end up rekindling their relationship even temporarily.
Oh,
So
that's
there's
nice.
a probability for you to
Yeah.
get back together,
Yeah,
right?
it's hopeful.
And yeah, it's good, but then you don't get the chance to fully heal. So it's like 50% chance, and then there's also
I'm so
50%
sorry.
chance.
What do you mean they don't get the chance to heal if they do end up with their ex? They could have healed and then gotten back together because they
but
worked on
it's
each other.
temporarily. It does not last long. So they get back together for
Mm-hmm.
a period of time.
Does the journal have a percentage of them who then went on to become married?
Unfortunately, no.
No,
So are you
Yeah.
saying that
Incomplete
so
journal.
people should only get together with someone if there is a guarantee that it will never end?
No?
I mean, if we could have broken up, realized the issues with each other, worked on it, healed, gotten back together, and then realized after that, like, hey, it is better, but it's still not what we want.
Correct. So
You
you
know-
want to heal and get back together, right?
But we can
when
still be
when
friends.
you remain friends and then you don't set yourselves apart for long enough, you don't get the amount of time you need adequately to heal before you can get back together
What
and make
study
it
do
into
you
a good
have that
relationship.
shows that?
You know, we are talking about people moving on, but sometimes people are, and we need to be honest here, okay? Sometimes people are not ready to move on yet.
Yep.
Sometimes people need to hold on to something to feel a bit more security until they are ready to let go.
Sport engine,
Right?
yes.
So in this case, right, isn't it normal to give them the hope of like holding on to your old support first and then slowly kind of like letting it fade away?
You
again?
can
okay.
give them
Yeah.
the hope. You can, but it's whether you should or not. And you shouldn't.
And
Yes
is
lah.
it fair for the
Like-
person providing support for you?
Yes.
So let's say you want to hold
It
on to
needs
your
to
ex.
be mutual lah.
But what if the person doesn't want to, but they do it out of guilt? Because they
then-
feel like you need their support. They know you're lonely.
So,
they know
so
you
they're
have
the
no one
ones who
else.
broke up lah.
Yeah, for
Then
example.
give it back to them. Is that for right? Feel guilty ah?
Then that is toxic in
But
itself.
you want to hold on, what?
Because you want to be friends
It's
just
fine.
to
You
get
wanna
back
hold on,
at
what?
them.
Life is fair. Sometimes need revenge.
Also, I just want to say, when you argue that the whole experience that I went through taught me something, right? Yes, it did. But am I friends with my ex? No, that showed that it's
Was it-
impossible to be
But
friends.
they did not remain
because
friends
I
long
wasn't
enough.
able to move on
Right.
to
Yeah.
something better because I was stuck in that.
Correct.
Okay, wait. One second. Okay, let me finish just one point, okay? Studies show that...
No more.
Ayah, Nina, you're too much crap!
You all will be arguing for the other team, and it will be a rebuttal round, so you can go off at each other. But the point is that you cannot repeat the point that the other team has used just now.
Okay. Now we can speak our true feelings. I
Oh.
think if you need to cut something off, you need to cut it off clean.
Yeah.
No one hangs on to one more cigarette in his pocket if you want to stop smoking, okay? So if you still friends with your ex, actually means that you haven't moved on, lah, okay?
Nah.
So it's a chance for you to relapse. So I'm gonna go into this analogy. You
Okay.
don't go to a bar if you want to get rid of alcohol. You don't go to a land shop if you want to study for PSLE. You don't be friends with your ex if you want to move on, okay? All these situations just give you a chance to relapse and get through those PTSD moments again, okay? Now you know how toxic your ex is to your life and you're ready to move on. Let me remind you why he or she or they or it was a disaster. Okay, let me ask, if there is a cockroach at your home, right? You kill it. Okay? Or maybe you're nice. You take it, you release it outside. You won't go back and look for it and be like, hey, actually,
I might lah.
we'll be friends
The
again.
cockroach quite cute lah.
So many different cockroaches, you don't even know which one anymore, okay?
Got marking
Yeah,
on the
it's got
wing.
marking,
My
we
special
know.
cockroach.
That's
It is
fine.
my cockroach.
That's fine, okay? Then what if I added that your this cockroach, right, is a cheating, manipulative, gaslighting. Every time you work a whole day, you come home, wants to pick a fight with you, don't let you sleep. Okay, then every time you eating food halfway, scold you that you never share. Even though you ask the cockroach,
angry?
you ask the cockroach, you say, hey, you want? Then she says, don't want.
But it's just a
cockroach.
I'm just
It's just a cockroach. And
no,
there's
no,
a
no.
language barrier between cockroach and you, okay? Yeah.
Good points. So I think all these moments actually is opportunities for PTSD and trauma to seep back into your life, okay? I don't even need to elaborate why when you're with a new cockroach, okay, there is going to be a problem. When you and your friends are there, there's like a underlying awkwardness also, like, is this still with him or is the ex? Don't dare to ask, this kind of thing. Very awkward. They getting back together or not? You know, it also cuts off opportunities for other people to get back into your life. You post with this cockroach, then people like, oh, actually I wanted to slip into his DM, but then, are they together? Are they not together?
Then that's
You know,
on the
very hard.
person because the person should know just to shoot your shot.
Exactly. Just
If
ask lah.
there's a goalkeeper,
Doesn't mean you cannot score.
Yes, that's the same.
But you could have helped your own situation also if you just don't do that. Okay, like actually that point you all talk about, which is like that, you know, the friendship is on a thin line lah. That anytime, you know, things can happen and it'll bring back all these old memories. And the fact that y'all broke up, there is a reason that y'all break up lah. If the friendship was so great, then why did y'all even break up to begin with?
Okay,
you
I
know?
just want to say, so he mentioned an analogy of having the one last cigarette in your pocket, right?
Yes.
Sometimes it could serve as a very good reminder of why you decided to quit smoking in the first place.
This one, don't fact check it, but from 2020,
So, yeah, okay.
Singapore anti-smoking campaign
Yeah,
right, actually
okay.
say
Yeah.
that people who smoke that one extra cigarette, right,
Yes.
80% go back to smoking
Oh,
again.
but
Yeah.
is it true?
But
No,
is
it's
it
not
true?
true
We
lah.
have
It's
to
not
check.
true.
Yeah.
I go and Google
So,
first.
so
I
for
come
that
back to you.
one last
Yeah,
cigarette that you
disclaimer.
have in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
What do you do with it? You don't actually put it anywhere near your mouth, right? You don't put any lighter near it. It's close enough to serve as a reminder for you, but not close enough for you to go back to your old habits.
Whether it's possible or not, I think somehow it is possible over time. You do need the space to,
To heal,
grow
to
and
grow.
to heal from what happened in their relationship. But over time, I think there is a possibility that you can be friends again.
So what
I
you're
love that
saying
point.
is don't be friends first. And then
Correct.
after a
Yeah.
while be friends.
Take
but
a
our
break.
statement is staying friends
Yes,
after
correct.
the breakup. So there is no break. After you break up, immediately friends.
No, leh, I think staying friend. I mean, there
defined
needs
it.
to be a break.
No,
But
we can
I'm
stay as
saying
friends,
that-
but different
You
stages
stay
of
at
friendship.
home. You stay at home. Sometimes you still go out, right? Staying friends means after even you break up, you still stay friends. You don't take a break. I believe if you take a break first, in 2-3 years, you come back, you're somehow still single and y'all have matured and you're like, hey, you know, let's give this another shot. I think
But
that's
that is
possible.
defined as staying friends.
No,
what?
you guys weren't
No.
friends. You guys never talk. You guys block each other.
What if
No.
we are on a very surface level? We're still friends, right? Still friends. But then the connection deepens after a while, after you both healed. So you go from a couple, you break
I think
up,
not good.
but you're still friends, but more on the surface level. Like, hi,
Yeah.
bye.
Yes,
You know,
just
that's
a
it, that's it.
cordial
This is
relationship.
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
the,
And then
this
you're
is
not
all the
hanging out.
issues of like you cut off yourself from moving on. You're going to relapse anytime. You have all these issues, underlying issues of, your friends being confused, your parents being confused. Why is she still around at Chinese New Year? Do we give her big ang pao,
that's too
small
much.
ang pao?
That's more than surface.
Yeah,
all these
that's more
things.
than surface
Did you
level.
bring your colleague John to your house
Yeah.
for Chinese New Year?
Yeah, to gamble.
I'm sorry, John. Yes.
And actually, I have two case studies of
Okay.
friends that I know that so one case study is of a friend, they broke up and they are in a group together and they were able to heal through it. They're not like close, they don't hang out and check on each other, but they still kind of know that, okay, we're in similar circles. We need to give each other space, but at some point, we do have to kind of be friends again because we are in the same circle.
That sounds like acquaintances, not friends.
Yeah. You call that friends?
No, but after that, they remain friends. You know what I mean? So after the breakup, there's a period of like, okay,
Acquaintanceship.
we know that we need some space.
Oh, right.
But
they
we are
didn't
still
talk
in the same friend circle. We still see each other quite often. But we
acquaintance.
know that like, okay, we cannot like expect too much from each other because we're in that
So must not
healing.
then.
Yeah.
Then
No,
friends is it?
no.
Yes.
You're still
Yes.
you're still in that
Then
circle.
just
You're
have your
still
friends already.
talking.
So you're
still like,
low
hey,
maintenance
how are you?
friends
low
lah.
maintenance.
Yeah, low maintenance. Still friendship, ma.
So studies have shown that it is a lower quality friendship if it's a friendship with your ex as compared to other friendships, and they have more cost and fewer benefits, and that maintaining such relationships can have negative long-term consequences. Also, all the studies that you guys have quoted saying that, hey, you should be friends with your exes or you can be or whatever, you have to realize that these studies, firstly, only one of the two members of each friendship participated in these studies. So this might have been a biased view of these friendships. So when they evaluate their friendships, it's all biased. Friendship implies a mutual definition of the relationship, which we've just pointed
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So it is possible that the other party would not define the post-dating relationship as a friendship. Also, another study in 1985 and in 2006 have shown that men have a looser definition of what implies a friendship.
Okay,
Yeah, not
but
wrong, sir. I
we-
relate to that research.
We rate cut that because it's too long ago.
But I relate.
Oh, you
It's
relate.
2006.
I feel like
So
I
I
relate
red card
also
you
though.
for not justifying my
red card,
feelings.
You also must red card. Not everyone red card.
You know, red card me.
Okay, let's move on.
survey.
So I want to bring up the second case study, which is another friend of mine. So she is actually still working with her ex. And they have a good relationship. Like he is seeing someone new and she is seeing someone new, and they all hang out together and they're able to do it healthily. So I think being able to stay friends is possible if you set boundaries, if you know exactly what the expectations are, if you've kind of had that conversation of like, okay, this is sort of where our friendship is.
This is where it ends, and
Yeah,
this is
this is
okay,
where
this
it
is not
ends.
okay.
This is how my partner feels, and you
Yeah.
also speak to your partner.
My question is, are they friends?
I'm checking.
Are
Are they
they
don't know.
friends by
Fair,
choice,
fair.
or is it because the situation demands that they stay friends? Because if they had a choice, would they rather not be friends?
So if the situation demands, does it not count anymore? So like co-parenting?
No, it does count, but I'm just trying to go back to
Well, in this specific case, it's a choice. They can choose to kind of split and not
Like
do
someone
anything
quit.
together. Yeah, but it was a choice for them to like, I think we can work this out.
because I feel like that example might not be very applicable because there is a huge motivating factor to make this friendship work. So
Which is
even if I
what?
Which
might
is
not
what?
want it to work,
Which is
but this is their rice bowl.
Yeah.
Neither of them can
I
work
also-
it
can
out.
survive
I also
without
think
it.
They
that
can survive
They can
without
survive
each
without
other
each other,
too.
I just
Yeah.
think that friendship part of it is exaggerated here. Because in this case, they are not necessarily friends, they are colleagues. So they work together and she's the current partner is okay with it because they are there for work. They are colleagues.
Yes.
Outside of it, they're not really hanging out.
Good
I
point,
mean,
good point.
correct me if
Good
I'm
point,
wrong.
Good
Yeah.
point, good point. Yeah, good point.
Thank you,
Good
thank you.
point, we
Thank
agree.
you, thank you.
Okay, time is up. I don't know who is winning or losing.
Actually, I'm okay with not winning. I want comments to tell me that I was the most entertaining.
Oh,
That's the real
okay,
winner.
I see.
That's
okay,
the real.
okay,
Please,
okay.
please
Yeah, yeah.
affirm me.
So the winner of this round would be Muna and Celia.
What? I lied about the content. I want to win. What's that? But the
Okay.
comments let us know who your thing won. Maybe the moderator a bit biased. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you,
Congratulations.
congrats. Lifetime achievement, huh?
I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, good job.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow us if you want more. Tell us what you want to hear us arguing about next, and tell them that we deserve to win.
It was a
Bye-bye.
hard issue lah. It was a hard
Bye-bye.
fight. It was a hard fight.
It was.
Oh, bye bye.
Bye bye.